everyone. So I just did a video titled A God of Love, and I also felt like I was supposed to share how we are supposed to be a people of love. So I wanted to read John 13 verses 34 through 35. And it says, so this is Jesus talking, and it's at the end of the Last Supper. And he says, so now I am giving you a new commandment: love each other. Just as I have loved you, you should love each other. Your love for one another will prove to the world that you are my disciples. And so we are called to love others. And how do we show that we love someone? So it may be going to speak to that person who is sitting all by themselves, and you just want them to know that they're not alone, showing them love in that regard. Maybe it's giving someone food who needs food. Maybe it's serving in our local food pantry or soup kitchen, giving someone a jacket when they're cold, letting someone use your house if they need to, like to spend the night, or maybe they need a shower, or maybe they just need to come in to get warm for a little while, or wait for a ride to show up. And so there's all kinds of ways that we can show love to one another. And I wanted to share something with you that where I was corrected by my 8-year-old. So a couple weeks ago, we had to go to Lily's dentist appointment. And I decided to stop by Chick-fil-A, and I never stop by Chick-fil-A very often to get their cookies, just because they're my favorite. And so I try not to eat them very often because they're expensive, but they're so delicious. So I was going to stop that day. And I stopped, and I pulled through the line, and I got one of the bag of cookies so that, everybody could have one. And as we were driving away, we came up to a red light where we were about to turn onto the interstate. And there was someone who had one of the signs that said, like, anything helps, whatever you're willing to give. And Lily said, and I was already wrestling, like, oh, well, I don't have, most of the time in those situations, I'll give like food or something, because I don't like passing out money. Just unless God specifically tells me to, but just because I know it can get abused in ways. And so often, like, I'll give food or something. And so I was thinking, well, I only have Judas gummies that are in the backpack, so that feels like not good enough. And I was like, oh, and I have these Chick-fil-A cookies, but they're my favorite. Like, I don't really want to share one of those, And then Lily in the back seat says, Mom, does he need a ride? And I said, no, baby, he needs food or money or something like that. And she said, well, why don't you give him a Chick-fil-A cookie? And I said, you're right, Lily. I do need to give him a Chick-fil-A cookie. And so I rolled down my window, and I listened to my 8-year-old and gave him a cookie and showed him a little bit of God's love. And I needed that reminder that, it's not about him. I don't need to be judging him because he doesn't have a job or because he chose to be out there. Because some of them, like, that's just the lifestyle that they choose to live, right? But I don't need to be that person that's judging them. I am called to be a people who show love, right? To not decide if they're worthy of God's love, if they're worthy of that Chick-fil-A cookie, or if they're worthy of that jacket. I am told to show them love and not to judge based off of it. And so I hope that this helps. Just that we're all called to be a people of love. So hope you have a good rest of your day. Bye.